Hi everybody. Welcome back after those snow good days of winter. Like the old song says, hello stranger, seems like a mighty long time, shubop, shubop. So glad to see everybody here again, Lions and guests alike, which we will introduce you guests in just a few minutes here. But let's start as we always do with our invocation. Allegiance to our flag, Mr. Lion Lloyd Williams.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I should have said immediate past president, Lloyd Williams. Thank you, Lloyd. And singing of our anthem, David Hammond will lead us today.
My country 'tis of thee,
Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Okay. Lion Tamers, who's new in the house today or returning as a guest? Everybody have a seat so we can hear.
President Cheryl, Lions and guests. We have several guests that we'll start with Doug Irvine. Doug Irvine has a guest. Doug?
Welcome.
Leroy Parcell has a guest.
the guest, my wife Melissa is with me today.
Hello, Melissa. Glad you're here.
George Rader has several guests. George?
President Charles and microphone feedback. I'd like to introduce the most patient woman I've ever met in my life. My wife, Judith Bartholomew.
Hello, Judith. Thanks for being with us.
And just to our good friends and our neighbors, Tom and Joanne Law.
Hello, Tom and Joanne. Glad you could join us today. I don't know what's going on with this mic, but might have to trade you.
Hey Bob.
Okay, one more. We have one more. Steve Johnston has a guest.
President Cheryl Lions a guest. I brought my son Jeff back again, and he's already filled out application.
Hey, hi, Jeff. Glad you're with us.
That's it.
Sorry about this mic. Must be my electric personality.
There you go.
Okay, welcome guests and all, and Lions, it's so good to see your faces again. Like I said, it seems like a mighty long time. Although it's only been, what, we only skipped a week or so? Okay. I wanted to let you know that I will be out of state next week. Yay! And First Vice President, I'm going to leave this club in the very capable hands of First Vice President Carrie Ann, who is going to chair the meeting for me, and it will be awesome. So, hope you all plan to be here.
Don't get your hopes up.
Sunshine report. No, let's do Happy Bucks first. Yes, let's get on with Happy Bucks. Okay, do we have any tail twisters in the house today?
President Cheryl, we forgot one guest.
Turn that off. Hope we can switch before Marie gets.
Yeah. We're gonna, it's not working at all now. It's on, but it doesn't, yeah.
Make sure we get that one.
This one is dead as a doornail now. It's on, but no, the lights are on, but nobody's home.
So, try it again.
Our guest is Robin Schurscher. Anyway, she's back here. Got to have her sign in.
So, okay, now we've got sound again, but we probably also have that real annoying whistle. So before our guest speaker gets here today, could we switch out the mics for sure, please?
Okay.
Cheryl, I think she fixed it.
Oh, thank you.
She's back there.
Hey, thank you, Mary. Awesome, Mary. That fixed it for us. Cool.
Keep going now.
She's working on it.
Let's see. Keep going down. Keep going down. Please keep going down. There we go.
Anybody out there with hearing aids, please don't throw anything at me. Okay. All right. Where were we? Is it? Yeah, it's going.
President remarks.
President remarks. Okay, I had already said that. All right, tail twisting. All right, let's go. Let's get this show back on the road.
What, I'm gone for 3 weeks, we have to retrain the president? Come on, people. Come on, people. Anybody got any happy bucks? Oh, Rick's got some for that out there. Look at that. How about that? Rick Johnson.
King Lion Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. My first dollar is for Boudreaux. He had his baby.
Yes, he did. Well, his wife actually had it.
Well,
He did the important work of standing by wringing his hands.
maybe. Okay, my second dollar is for a check from Manthes for $400
All right.
in memory of Jack Patton.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And Rick, did you want to say anything about that little box that you left with us, too?
Also brought the box of eyeglasses, so if somebody needs them at their shop, there's a good box for you.
Okay.
Take back to your shop.
Very nice. Very nice. Can I let Terry go first? Is that okay, Dwayne? He's kind of, you know. How about that?
Is it working? President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, there's my happy $2 for today. Happy I survived the storm we had this last week, and happy to survive the Zoom meeting.
Terry's. Now it's your turn.
Right on that. Here, King Lion. Yeah, somewhere in there.
There you go.
There's a good sign. Hello. At any rate, a couple of happy bucks. Real glad to see the snow gone. We had tickets to the Lion King for Friday, which of course was snowed out or iced out, whatever the case was. But today, they said there wasn't going to be any rain, so I went out and played golf this morning, and I hope it rains a lot more.
Wow, this is really fun today. I don't know. I have been in this club literally 32 years. Have we, on one day, had it the work? It's absolutely amazing.
The entire time.
Sorry, candidates.
I did my happy buck over Zoom last week, but, oh, sorry. King Lion Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests.
There you go, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know how important that is to all of us.
I said a happy buck last week over Zoom, so I'm putting it in there. It was for my husband's birthday. He had a big number birthday.
can still remember the words.
Front Marilyn, that was really a nice try.
While you can all still remember the words, we're gonna do it again because I heard something about Keith Stark's birthday being today. So we have to sing to him too.
Let's just sing the important line.
Happy birthday. There you go. Best wishes and I hope you have a wonderful year.
Seriously, Jeff, nobody is safe from this, okay? Nobody. If your dog has a birthday, we're singing, I swear to God. We need you more.
And so beautifully too.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, throw my $5 in there. First, sad dollar, the passing of past council chair Jim Terrell. Some of you may not know the connection to our club, but his son Steve Holst is a member of our club. Second dollar has to do with programs. We had a little bit of challenge last week with snow and ice, so I wasn't able to get Bill and Dean in. George, however, was able to connect with a pretty major speaker, so I asked Karen Sisson if she would step aside, and she graciously agreed. So I will reschedule for both of those. Finally, quote of the week, which is hard to do because I forgot my note before I left, so I had to do it on my phone. It's a poem from F. Scott Fitzgerald. It was only a sunny smile, and little it cost in the giving. But like morning light, it scattered the night. Living.
I've got cut out too up here.
Fun words to have for us.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. We can actually only hope that it goes out right now. Lion Greg?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. First one is echoing Mark, past council chairman Jim Terrell. Darn good guy, and I was able to spend a bunch of time with him at our convention last year down in Vancouver. Second dollar, I don't know how many of you watched news last night. Channel 8 News had a clip. Waco landing. Hurt.
Oh no.
Well, it just happens. My youngest brother is a crabber. They lost all of their gear.
Oh no.
And that's an excess somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000 worth. Wow. Plus, they aren't able to crab, so there's wages too.
That's sad news.
It's terrible news. Absolutely terrible news. Who here in this room does not know somebody that at some point in their life worked at the cannery in Milwaukee? I mean, seriously. I put in a month and a half there at one point in my life. The only thing I can say right now is that boy, the smoked salmon's on sale. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Flying Mike, what do you got going?
King Lion, Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. I did not know about past council chair Jim Terrell. He was a tremendous help to me when I was governor 26 years ago. And I'm very sorry to hear of his passing.
True that. You want to stow anything on Leroy? I'll lend you a buck. Well, President Cheryl, I got $5
Okay.
One, they actually let me back into the country on January the 9th when we got off the cruise ship. It was a wonderful time. The tan is holding up very well, don't you think? Yeah, I think it's going pretty good. Second happy buck is that, let's see, what was that one? Oh yeah, Jerry got over COVID after we got back. That was kind of fun. So we're all fine there. And third happy buck is that Hal, of course, is down in Vegas. Fourth happy buck is that Hal's still in Vegas. Let's see, fifth happy buck. Here's the real true happy buck. I don't know if you've ever looked at my face and seen what's going on with my nose. I've only been in a fight with the insurance company for a year. Saturday, they finally sent the letter authorizing the surgery, and it'll be on March 27th.
You're getting your nose taken off?
I'm going to get my nose fixed. I'm going to get it fixed.
Okay.
I'm getting a nose job. Of course, I looked at Hal and said, maybe if we get 2 for 1, I can get you a blue job. Yeah, well, you know, I wasn't ever going to leave that joke alone. Why, George?
President Cheryl, for all the lines of gas, just one happy buck. I talked to Mark Kelch. You may recall 2 weeks ago, he said he prayed for a change in the weather. He promised me he wouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah. There you go.
Any other happy bucks?
Anybody down there?
Nothing going on? All
Like it?
right.
Is that it? Okay. Our guest speaker is not arrived yet, and I've been advised that she will be here about half after the hour. So we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our business, waiting for her and put her, whenever she gets here, we'll just stop and do it. Okay, so let's, sunshine report.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, we have a couple of cards here that you know of for Steve Holst. So if you can sign that card, that would be great. And then Mikey, Floria Lee, she apparently she fell and broke her leg, and then went to the hospital and had a heart attack.
Oh
And she
dear.
had 2 stents put in there. So Greg and Mary have additional information too. So when she recovers, she'll be here from Vancouver. She'll be at Beacon Hill. So we'll send flowers and a card when she gets here.
Thank you for that information. Sorry to hear about Florida Lee. Or Mikey, as we like to call her. Okay, announcements. I already said it's Keith Stark's birthday. Don't you forget it, people. Okay.
I'm back, by the way.
There will be a brief board meeting today after the meeting. We had just a little bit of business we need to take care of, so all of you who are on the board, please be there. We do need a quorum. Remembering Jackie Patton. Just a reminder, there was no service for Lion Jack at his request. So if you wish to show respect and remember Lion Jack over and above or in additional to the collection taken at our last meeting, in lieu of cards or flowers, please make a donation to the club in his name, as Matthews did. That was very nice. If you're so inclined and would like to donate any money, just make a small donation to the club.
Yep, and you can write the check to the Longview Pioneer Lions. There was $140 total collected. I've got a check for LCIF to give to Hal. There was a check from the Snyder family for $30 that was included in that money, and I've just received $400, so I'll make out another check.
Those in the name of Jack Patton?
Yes.
Of Lion Jack Patton, okay. Our next regular board meeting will probably be, unless the board today changes it up in some way, our next regular board meeting is scheduled for February 8th. Pretty close, pretty early in the month, but it is the second Thursday of the month. So you might want to put that on your calendar if you're on the board. Darlene, I think you have something you want to share about our environment, one of our environmental projects. Hope that microphone works.
President Cheryl for Lions and guests. We're going to do another plastic thing at Grocery Outlet tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I got an email that says if you don't pick it up this week, they're going to put it to bill and we're going to lose all the plastic. So we're going to go in tomorrow about 1 o'clock. And it won't take very long because all we have to do is take their plastic, stuff it in bags. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time.
About 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. But we have a little bit more because this is like 3 weeks worth.
Okay.
So yes.
Is that a paper bag we're putting the plastic into?
No. No. This is all plastic that stresses. And if anybody needs a deal on what plastics we are collecting, I do have some flyers today.
Those stretchy kinds, like grocery store produce bags. And,
Right.
Yeah. Stuff that your paper towels come in, wrapped in.
So if you need one, just come and see me.
Okay. Rex, you have something for us? Rex Boswell. If he can ever get his hands on the microphone here. Here it comes.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. First off, I want to thank everybody that has been that helped to put up lights and start taking them down. I have gonna schedule a work party for Thursday at 9, meet at the shop. We'll finish picking up everything and putting it away. So Thursday morning at 9.
Thursday morning, 9 o'clock at the shop. Give Rex a hand, putting away the last vestiges of Christmas for the year. Anybody else have any announcements if they want to share with the club? Okay, Marilyn.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I believe the registration for 19N District Convention, April 19th and 21st, has that been released to you, Leroy?
It was in the roar.
Okay, and it's going to be updated. Fun Night many times offers just an attendance for Fun Night and not just the meal. So it's going to be adjusted. If you can't come to the dinner part of it, you can come to Fun Night later and the ticket will be $15 just for that portion. So that will be adjusted.
And you better be fun.
It is, well, Stephanie Odell, you know, she's over the top, so it is. It's,
All that glitters.
the theme is something about
All that glitters.
all that glitz.
All that glitters. All that glitters.
All that glitters.
A Hollywood
Right, so if you haven't been to a prom dance, you can actually go. I don't think there's a dance, but you can dress like it.
Yeah, wear your spangly stuff. Okay.
Cheryl, you're doing it kind of like a Hollywood, Oscars, black tie kind of thing.
Okay, and there'll be more news about that as plans get firmed up. I'm going to go ahead and ask right now, Leroy, if there's any senility.
Well, we do have one true rookie who didn't sign in, and he's brand new, so I don't know who his sponsor is, I don't remember.
Who?
Am I wrong? No, I'm not. There it is. A new guy. Al.
His sponsor.
Hal Bornstead should know better.
Yeah.
Who's his sponsor, so we'll find his sponsor.
Greg?
I'm gonna tell Cindy.
Okay.
Nick made it in. I think Lemire, yep, he's on here. He's got his X on here.
I forgot to mention to you that Jerry Bosch came by to see me for a couple of minutes of that R Club and wanted to remind us that there will be an annual kids fish-in this spring. It's not until April 27, 24, but they're hoping for our active involvement in that and maybe a little scratch too, but we'll have the board discuss that later on. So he asked me to make sure to mention to you that the fish-in's coming, even though it isn't coming until April. He asked me to say it, so I said it. Okay.
Hey, Bob.
We're going to do our ticket drawings early because we're still waiting for our speaker and we want to clear the decks for her. So the first ticket we're going to do is, as always, the blue one, the 50-50 drawing, the Joker drawing. And you could be a winner. It's been done before. The number is 933-267. Who's got, oh, Keith, the birthday boy. Okay. All right, Keith.
Did you hear him tell me?
Okay, while Jay's laying them out there and Keith's picking the winner, let's go to the red ticket. The number is 344-824. 824. Oh, what? King of Diamonds. Close, but not close enough. Okay. 344-824. Somebody's got it. Oh, Jay, all right. Jay, you have an opportunity to donate what was collected in that fund today to one of our projects. Josh, I'm sorry. I meant Jay, period. Sight and hearing, Josh says. Okay, it'll go to sight and hearing. Thank you very much. And I'm going to tell you my joke right now because, you know, we don't have a speaker yet.
Tell it slow.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to do the desserts first. That's got to happen.
Yeah. President Cheryl, Caroline's and guests, the winners for today are Steve Johnston and Gail Bradley.
Okay, yay. No bacon in the Johnston and Bradley house today. Okay.
Before you do your joke, can I say something?
Yeah. Oh, I think Leroy wants the mic.
I do. Team Lions, Cheryl, fellow Lions. Hey, for the registration for the MD19 in convention, which it will be April 19th and 20th, you will find the registration in the Roar. It's at kind of the last couple of pages. So thumb down. There's also other information about the contest and different things that are going on. And if you don't want to get it from there, you can always go to MD19's website, and there's a, just kind of look at that, and you'll find the registration form there. So all the information is in the Roar. So you do have an opportunity to sign up for that. Should be a good time.
Okay, thank you very much, Leroy. Now on to the joke.
That was it.
This is kind of a scrambled up, mixed up meeting, isn't it? Oh, and it would probably have been better if it had come to you during the days of snow, but you know, snow. So, but it is still winter, so it's a winter joke. And I just wanted to share with you that my neighbor said he chopped up his piano for firewood during the cold we just came out of, but he only got 2 chords. Bada boom. I hope you all stayed safe and warm. I looked up the hill out my front window and I saw a dog putting jumper cables on a rabbit just to get him running. And I heard on the news an elderly lady got lost in our snowfall while she was driving. Yeah. She didn't panic though because her husband had once told her, if you ever get stuck in a snowstorm, just wait for a snowplow to come by and follow it. Sure enough, pretty soon a snowplow appeared and she started to follow it. She followed it for 45 minutes. Finally, the driver of the snowplow got out and he asked her what she was doing. So she explained what her husband had told her to do. The plow driver nodded and said, well, I'm done with the Walmart parking lot. Do you want to follow me down to Fred Meyer now? Okay. And our speaker has arrived, so it's all about timing, folks. Could we have both mics up here for during the time that that Representative Perez is here? So we got to make sure we got one working for sure. So we've been having funky problems with our mics. So if one goes dead on you, grab the other one.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. First, I want to thank Mark Kelch for letting me jump in the middle of his program for the month and host our very special guest, Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp Perez. And as usual, fellow Lions, my introductory comments will be brief and concise. I'm picking up on a bit of skepticism, but I've taken your criticism to heart, and I rejoined that organization that helps people who talk too much. Self-help organization. It's called On and On, Anon. And the first step is get started. So I received a bio from the Congresswoman's office, and it says that Marie and her husband and young son reside in rural Skamania County. I emailed back and said, what part of the county is the urban part? I think they're still researching that. Marie has the ideal heritage, I think, for our times. She is, on one side, there's 5 generations of woodcutters and tree fallers that go back into the 1800s. On the other side, she's a daughter of a first-generation immigrant. She and her husband understand the needs of small businesses because they own and operate an auto repair machine shop in Portland, Oregon. Getting a bill through Congress is hard work. You need a majority in the House, majority in the Senate, and you need the President to sign it. And if you're in the minority, you absolutely must have bipartisan help or you won't get it out of committee. What's amazing to me is that in these times of congressional gridlock, last year Congress only passed 27 bills, historical low, 2 of which were sponsored by our Congresswoman. She has several bills that have already passed the House. They're waiting for action in the Senate. So the second step of my program that I'm in says wrap it up. So at this time, fellow Lions, please help me give a warm welcome to Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp Perez.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much. That is so kind. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. That is incredibly generous. I'm really grateful to be here. And, serving in public office is an incredible honor. And I feel like I'm among kindred spirits, people who have all decided to spend their time helping fix things in their community, people who see problems and look to fix them. And I really admire your choice to choose community and to choose work. I think it's candidly becoming countercultural. And so I appreciate that you all are choosing to be here and to spend your time with our community and together. So I, as George mentioned, I run an auto repair and machine shop, or I did before taking on this role. So I worked in the trades my entire professional career, and as George pointed out, I actually think that being the daughter of an immigrant sort of insulated me from what I worry has become a more dominant American. I think a lot of Americans have come to disregard the trades and to feel that they're not worthy. It's not a good way to spend your career. I know my husband was thoroughly discouraged by both of his parents and all of the adults in his life to not become a mechanic. And I think there's almost no message you could tell a child than what they're good at is not good enough. I think that when we look at our community today, suicide rates for young men are through the roof. I mean, I'm willing to bet most of you know someone or friends of friends who have taken their own life. And I think that is a spin-off of this decades-long space race. We are all going to go to college and we're all going to be engineers and we'll let the robots fix cars for us. I'm here to tell you, like, a robot is not going to diagnose the sound that your car is making. I've never bought a new car in my life. I buy my cars off Craigslist. And I have seen in my previous professional career that more and more things are becoming disposable and not repairable. So I used to be able to replace a light bulb and a headlight for $3. Today, that whole headlight assembly is $70, and if you're lucky. And the manufacturers have all figured out how to ensure that you can't use different headlight assemblies between different models of the same manufacturer, or certainly can't go between manufacturers. After 30 years of buying tools, my husband is still needing to buy new tools because they keep changing the fasteners. And so the consumers are seeing it, the mechanics and machinists are seeing it, everyone is seeing this race to make our durable goods, our cars, our washing machines, disposable and not repairable. And that was one of the big motivating things for me to feel like there's this huge thing that doesn't feel like it's getting any traction. People don't care. And I really believe that the dominant concern of my generation is something called antitrust law. So you have no reason to hear antitrust and then register. But, I'm on the Ag Committee. This year I held a lot of roundtables for producers. And what I heard over and over from our agricultural producers was that there are two companies who will buy my chickens. They control the price of propane, they control the price of feed. And if I don't go with one of those buyers, my birds aren't making it to market and I'm going to lose the farm. And so we see that in the automotive world too, where there's a loss of control and agency. And so I believe that our economy is a giant ecosystem. I believe that it starts at the very beginning, the way that you treat your infant goes all the way up to, can I in good conscience tell these young kids, I was just at Mark Morris High School last week, in their pre-apprenticeship program, can I tell these kids that they're going to make a real family wage job in the trades if I don't simultaneously work to ensure that they can run a business? We have got to have small businesses in America. All of the big players were once somebody's garage. And so if we don't support the full ecosystem in a truly competitive market, where an independent shop has as much purchase at, ability to operate in a market as a repair shop that's affiliated with a dealership. We've got to have a level playing field for all sizes of businesses, and not just the ones that have the ability to hire a lawyer and navigate regulations. Because I saw that all the time in my world. If you are a low margin business like a wrecking yard, you're going to be located in a wetlands. And then the EPA is going to come after you. And then you're going to lose your access to used parts. And then you all of us here, are going to pay more for our repairs. Or they're going to or there won't be a shop that will fix it. And so I know this may sound sort of self-interested and like she's just obsessed with supporting the automotive industry. That's my view into it. That's how I bring my mind to understand the issues. But this is everywhere in America. This is all of us. It is all. The reason that America is the prime reserve currency of the world, our dollar is because of our home ownership rates. It's because the quality of our housing stock after World War II, when we built things with real timber and not OSB. God love the OSB, the Oriented Strand Board manufacturers, the plywood manufacturers, but we have got to have durable housing, and we've got to have a workforce that can afford that housing. And that is what gives us strength and influence over geopolitics, is that we have a secure workforce, a secure middle class who can stand up for the things that they believe in and have time to go to the PTA meetings or coach a little league. We've got to get back, I think, to a single family earner income again, where somebody can afford to stay home with the kids. I have a 2.5-year-old. It is a blood sport to find daycare for your child right now. I know from personal experience that often the state agencies that regulate these things do not care whether you have access or not. I lost childcare all of this week because of the ice storm. State regulators, we've been waiting 6 months for them to come out and license a new facility. They couldn't get their car up the hill. Me and 34 families now don't have childcare for the week. So, thank God I have grandparents around, but the burden this places on the workforce, the burden this places on our population growth, that really matters. And I will say population growth is something that should really matter to all of us, because that's how our Social Security is generated. The system will go bankrupt if we don't change how we're doing this. If we don't change trends pretty quickly here. We have not, I'm 34, we have not passed a bill on Social Security reform since before I was born. We have not passed a bill on immigration reform since before I was born. You just have a series of people who are just passing the buck down the row. And I am really grateful to be here and find myself in this role, because I, was in many ways, I think we just need more normal people in Congress that have tried to run a small business, that have tried to raise a family, that have tried to build a house, My husband and I built our house ourselves in Skamania County. God bless the building inspector out there. You know, people that really empower owner builders and young people to get a start. You know, and my belief in these systems is personal and sincere, and it's, I will say, I've been in Congress for a year now, and it's frustrating to watch. It is, you know, as a small business owner, you can just do what you want to do, more or less. You can, if I need to make a change to a system, I can do that. And in Congress, I've got to get 435 other people to do that with me, you know. And it's, there's a lot of perverse incentives. There's a lot of people that are only worried about their election, not about their reputation at the gas station. And that's what I think we've got to get back to, a more accountable, more, people talk about diversity a lot. I think that what I've seen is that we still have a serious lack of diversity in terms of what occupation have you come from. You know, we've got to have everybody at the table. People who work with their hands, people who work with their minds, not just lawyers and bankers, but the full spectrum of people who have tried to make a difference in their community and be useful. So I really want to be cognizant of not grandstanding and not, I mean, I think, I know that you all, there's a lot of expertise in the room. There's a lot of people who understand the issues on a deeper, more personal level than I do, and so I'm interested to hear what you all have been thinking about, what you've been seeing, what questions you're bringing to the table, and I can talk a little bit more about some of the legislative solutions I've found along the way, or my process, or whatever it is, however I can be helpful or informative. I mean, I ultimately am very sincere that, like, I am accountable to you all. I'm here to be present and available and accountable, and so let's do that. Yeah, I'd love to hear what your questions are and what you all are thinking about and your lives. Yes, sir, in the hat. Yes. Age? Age of, like, an official?
Yes. Yeah, what would be an average age to get elected and to basically have, you know, a consensus of what's around you?
So, at a federal level, I think that it's important to have people from a full diversity, so like people in their 20s all the way up to whatever, because those are the people who are experiencing what America is experiencing. My concern is that it's, like in the Senate right now, I believe there are 3 people who have children in school. Like, I think that's a problem. I think that you need to have people who are trying to, you know, in their early 20s, trying to start a business, buy a house, start a family. You need people who are trying to, you know, in the mid range where you're like having kids and you're in elementary. You know, you need the full spectrum to actually build. Like, our democracy is predicated on a representative body, and I would say I've just found it to be really homogenous. So, and it's not just age. I think it's occupation, as I was pointing to. But it's concerning how homogenous it can be.
I have a question basically about the workings of Congress. George mentioned that you've had some bills recently passed. There's Congress people, one of them was up for the speakership, that haven't passed anything and been on Congress for years. So I guess I'm interested in what bills that you have had passed and what you're looking for going forward.
Yeah, so I think I have a pretty, ask my husband, I have a really independent streak. And sometimes what it takes is somebody willing to hold their own party accountable. So one of the bills I passed was the Good Neighbor Authority Act. And this is something that empowers state and county level and tribal agencies to basically facilitate stewardship, thinning, habitat projects on federal lands. A lot of logging operations, especially if they are a family operation, would walk over hot coals to not take a job from the feds, because it can be so complex. And so this says, like, actually, like, you can do that same work at with a local operator you already know. And a lot of people in my party were very skeptical. They were like, this is a workaround, you're just trying to prevent real environmental stewardship or whatever. And so being able to go to them and say, this is what I see on the ground. Like, this is, I think it's really important. One of my favorite writers talks about, if you see yourself as an ideologue primarily, like, you've already lost. So if I see myself as a environmentalist, like, once I put that label on myself, you have lost a lot of purchase compared to saying, I love the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. That's what I love this specific forest, because when you replace generalities with specifics, then you're like, I know no one's bidding on this logging job because I don't want to work with the feds. And so you see more closely, and it's personal, so I think it takes you longer to get tired because it's personal. And it's specific, and so it's easier to view an issue from 360 degrees or whatever, because you're able to talk to your neighbor, you're able to talk, you consider your own, how would I do this? How would I, so bringing a more nuanced view to it, being able to, unafraid to fight with my own party about it, and educate my own party about it, that's been a huge advantage in actually moving legislation. A lot of members of Congress are, the seats are so gerrymandered now that people are really only worried about getting their primary races. They're not worried about the general. And so they just keep moving left and left and left, or right and right and right. And Southwest Washington is really, really unique. Like, we truly are very unique in electing independent people who aren't afraid to vote their conscience. And so, going all the way back to Jolene Unseld, and so being unafraid of my party, being unafraid of the other party, being willing to stick my neck out because it's personal, those have been things that have really helped me in advocating effectively and getting the votes I need to get something passed, to get something through the floor. And I think I have a different perspective because I've been a small business owner in the trades. My older brother, he's 18 months older than me, and he was the overachiever in high school, not me, and he was like, you should learn to play the bassoon magnificently. I don't play any instruments. He's like, you should play the bassoon. Because everyone's competing to be the first violinist. But if you leave the rat race and then you learn to play something nobody else is doing, the field's wide open. And so because I'm not coming with it with a lot of legislative experience, because I'm coming at it with a different perspective, I have a whole different set of tools. And it turns out that the lane is wide open when you aren't playing everybody else's game. And you're like, I'm not doing it. I see what you're doing, I'm not doing it. And that's been a real asset. Thank you for the question. Yes, sir.
I really want to come at this from a bipartisan way, so I want to suggest that this is probably not a question as much as it is a thought. And that is two things. I wish that our government would stop talking about Social Security, because everybody in this room paid into it, and it's our money.
Yeah.
It's not what the R's or the D's say that it was. More the R's regarding it being, what's their catchword for it? An entitlement,
yeah.
Right? What I really wish is that both parties would pay back what they borrowed from it, and we wouldn't have to be talking about any kind of bankruptcy default on Social Security. And that goes all the way back to the 1980s, and we all know who was president then. So my point is, do you see, I don't know how long you plan on being in Congress, but do you see this two-party system getting away from being a blood sport?
That's a really good question. That's a great question, and I really appreciate that framing. I think there have been so many people that want to stay here way too much, and there's a lot of budget gimmicks, and there's a lot of passing the buck. I just introduced some legislation with another Republican from Utah, my friend Blake Moore, on congressional budget reform. Because right now everything is running through the budget committee, and this would shift it to requiring individuals. So we are talking about budget issues for the SBA at the Small Business Committee. We're not passing the buck to somebody else. I think that is a really important structural reform to create more accountability at every committee level, and not just letting the people who want to be left holding the bag. I think we need to disperse the accountability. It's the other thing is like there's a really one of the solutions here is right now you only pay into Social Security on the first 164K a year, and if you took that cap out and said no matter how much you earn, you're paying the same percentage in, it would resolve like 87% of the deficit. But nobody wants to tax people who make more money because that's who donates to campaigns.
Me too.
Yeah. Right, it is wildly it is actually, if you poll it, it is very popular. But then they will shift it to say, X candidate wants to raise taxes on people making less than $200K a year, and everyone hears that and they think, oh, they're coming after me. And so that's the game they're playing. I think that in terms of reforming the blood sport aspect of it,
Races have to change.
the races have to change. And one of the ways that I've seen, like when you look at members who are, I'll just be like very candid. There are 2 members who represent seats that are redder than me. And both of those members have ranked choice voting. So there are forms of electoral reform that can walk around the gerrymandering committee that each state institutes. There are things that could be done, but it's going to take. Here's the problem: like normal people really want these things. They really want these things, but normal people are also working 3 jobs and trying to get their kid to daycare before they get reported to the state for whatever. Normal people are so busy on the treadmill that it's harder to build a real movement that has staying power and durability. And the party apparatus on both sides is not designed to do that. It's designed to drive us further and further into the corners. And so there's got to come something outside of it. And I think a lot of organizations like the Eagles and the Lions and like these things that are the sort of granddaddies of community organizations, like I think we should be very concerned that they're on a decline. Like that.
Yeah.
You've got to, churches. Membership is community organizations. Like, it is. We are really going to lose something if the way that you interact with communities is like at a protest or, at a political party. So it's everywhere. We all, a lot of things like sports leagues are in decline, like sedentarism, like we're all playing video games online, and that's really hard to build community that is got local political influence, and that's what we need. Yeah. I'm like such a downer. I'm like, let me tell you about suicide. I'm like, sorry,
You have time for
question
Do
and
you have
answer?
time?
Yeah.
I'm just, if I may, Mark's had rolled upside down. I can't stand my head. You told me to do that. Anyway, I'm just amazed that as a first-term member of Congress in the minority party, that you've been so effective. Could you have an explanation for what you do that makes that happen?
Honestly, some really good advice I got was to go to the gym. Because that's one of the only places, like they keep us in separate dining rooms, they keep us on separate sides of the aisle. And the good advice I got from Dan French out of Texas was like, go to the gym and like, then you actually will see members of both parties and you're like complaining about the same, whatever. You just have to be human. Like, and you just have to find a place to like be humans with each other and not somewhere where party leadership is watching who you're talking to. So that's been good advice, and I'm really grateful to. I also brought in a bipartisan staff. My predecessor has been great. And so just things that have helped having a different perspective. So my staff is like, they were like, no, don't answer the question, you have to leave. Because we get that's one of the hard things, like everything is, it's just so packed. And I'm really grateful to you all for sharing some of your day with me, and I hope that you all are proud of what you're doing and building community and sticking together. I think it's rare, and I'm very encouraged to see you all here and in this space together, and thank you sincerely.
And thank you, Representative Marie, for being with us here. As a remembrance of your visit with us is the highly coveted and very special Longview Lions Pioneer Lions mug, which you can take back to the other Washingtons. They'll all be jealous. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Sure.